Oftentimes, at places like a beach, there's clearly defined rules. But in other environments, specifically in the environment of AI and all things Web3, crypto, blockchain, the rules have been undefined, undetermined. Um, and it's kind of a free for all in certain places. In other places, it's completely illegal. So that's defined. Like you can do anything you want, you can't do anything at all. But then there's places like the United States that refused, the folks that were in charge, they refused to define regulations, compliance, what's legal, what's not legal. And it led to a very, very difficult environment. And I have great news. Most of you have already seen it. Um, there is now a very strong push toward clearly defined regulation and compliance with both the crypto and AI industry in the United States, which what will happen is other countries will follow. Uh, the US leads in a lot of areas of regulation and compliance, and it seems as though this is the next step. And what does that mean for folks like the Kiki community, our tokenized community? What does it mean for us? Where today, because of all this new push toward clarity around what is and is not allowed, especially in light of this last week, right? Trump and his wife, the First Lady, Melania, both launched a meme coin. And in doing so, they did it just like Kiki did. There was no pre-announcement. There was no marketing beforehand. And it clearly defined what they were doing. We defined it as a fair trade launch. Theirs was a very specific token allocation. And we both used Pump Fund, and we both did it on Solana. So that was a big win for us. But I believe that things being more clearly defined in the US is actually the biggest potential win that we have before us now. And so what does that mean moving forward? Well, it means I would encourage everyone to be mindful of how emotional a tokenized community is. You don't have to look any further than the most successful NFT projects of the last few years. These projects were so volatile. They would 10x in a day or a week. They would drop 50 or 90% in an hour, sometimes to bounce back and surpass all-time highs, and sometimes to die an immediate or a slow death. And it's a very volatile market. If you look at things for Kiki, we exceeded $10 million market cap the first day, $100 million market cap within the first week. And then we've been up and down and all around, floating from 40 to 80 and then floating from 50 to 20. And now we're sitting somewhere around 30. And even in the last 3 days, we were like the number one thing on Twitter trending all over Asia, including Indonesia and Philippines and Brazil, which is not in Asia, but that was also there. We were trading in the United States. So, it's like, what a wild experience, right? Just a few days ago, we had 100% gain. We're the most talked about token on Coin Marketplace and CoinGecko. And then today it's a bit slower. And so what a volatile and emotional ride that creates for people. So I would encourage you not to take your emotions too seriously. That's true of all cases of our life, but specifically if you're part of a tokenized community, don't take it too seriously. Don't become too stressed or highly emotional with the ups either. When we reach a $250 million market cap, we reach $1 billion plus market cap. When that happens, we don't want to lose composure. We want to stay the course, right? We have even greater desires than that. And so the real thing is not to be manic and excited when things are great and to be melancholy and depressed when things are bad because the chart is not as strong or it's going down. We want to look at the big picture. And the big picture is who's behind Kiki? Well, number one, it's an IP in and of itself. And that IP has been loved 11 billion plus times just on Giphy alone. On top of that, who is behind it? 3 different doxed, successful entrepreneurs. James Afonte is our chief marketing officer, who has 17 million followers on TikTok alone and is teaching the world and onboarding Web 2 to Web 3. We have, of course, Todor, our chief creative. And Todor, he does all the creative. He has the massive team that does everything for us, and he's the one that's putting us in 2D, 3D, metaverse. I mean, he has so many things rocking and rolling, and he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs I've ever met in my life. And so you have James representing Asia and Toto representing Europe, and then you have me here in America, and I've co-founded 10 companies, been in the industry, both AI and crypto, for almost 10 years. And I hope to be a person that people see as noble, as a man of integrity, that I bring a level of confidence to institutional investors and to retail investors that are involved just in a small but meaningful capacity. And the reason why I'm making this video is I just want to remind everybody that there are big, big, big moves happening in the world right now, and that we should be celebrating the change that's happened in our environment and ecosystem. And when things explode, if things explode in an hour or in a week, and all of a sudden we're doubling our market cap or 5xing it, I also don't want people to be overly thinking that that's the end result. We want to go to places no tokenized community has ever been before. And in doing that, part of the goal is to maintain emotional composure, look at the big picture, and ask yourself, how is the environment today compared to how it was before? Well, if you just think about this week, we've been the #1 trending on all these different sites, X, all over the world, and we have had incredible growth to our chart in terms of the way the market values joining and participating in our tokenized community. And all these new regulations are being pushed and passed, and really well-respected leaders are being put in positions of power, both in my nation, that will affect things globally. And so there is so much to celebrate, whether the chart is exploding up or dropping down. There's so much to celebrate. There's so much to count on, right? This IP that we all love and enjoy being a part of, there's so much for us to feel confident in what we're doing and in why we're doing it. And I always love to take y'all on OneWheel rides. Sometimes I like to do a little short 1-2 minute leadership idea, leadership thought. Today was a bit different. Today, I really wanted to take time to talk about this big idea of maintaining emotional composure, looking at the really big picture, not celebrating the wins too much, not mourning the losses too much, but looking at the big picture and saying, how is the environment today compared to before? And it's never been better for really the whole entire tokenized meme community, for all of us. It's certainly never been better for Kiki. And so I hope that was an encouragement to you, and I look forward to the next OneWheel talk that we share together. Until then, peace.